Today I'm answering a couple questions that I got off of YouTube, and I thought you might find the answers pretty interesting. Speaking of interesting, today's questions are brought to you by the letter I. What's that all about? Stay tuned. Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here, and today I have two I questions. One is enticing, and the other one is incentives. Let's find out what that all means. So one question came in, and it's asking me about enticing people to relocate to the Treasure Valley at a time when the local people, the people who have lived here all their lives, can't afford to buy a home. So that's, a hugely important question. It's very much a valid question, and it really needs to be talked about. And we really need to take it seriously because it's, people's lives are impacted by this. For one thing, I don't want to entice people to move here to raise prices on houses that are already here. In fact, I can't do that. I'm not setting the prices for my buyers. It's the people that are selling the house. So yes, I know market forces, more people come up here, there's more demand. It's just the laws of economics, that the more demand, the higher prices we're going to go. The less supply, the higher prices are going to go. And that's really not me making up those rules of economics. It's not me setting those prices for the houses. What I do entice people to do is, if they're sick and tired of where they're living, as I was when I lived temporarily in that one state, to check out living up here in the Treasure Valley. So yeah, I'm enticing them with a better possible lifestyle, a better possible quality of life. And I got to say, it's not me that makes that better quality of life up here either. I'm just telling people about it. It's the better quality of life is pretty much, it's in almost everything you do. Yeah, we hate the government, and our government, they're not as libertarian maybe, or they don't get out of our life as much as we wish they would. But I can tell you, they're a whole lot better than other places. I just read this story this morning that one of my peeps sent to me about how California is looking to double the taxes in the entire state. And this is basically targeting businesses and people that, produce. And taxes are already high, and this new legislation that's going through could double those taxes. That's not me enticing people to come here. I'm going to have to say that's Governor Newsom and the people that run that state enticing people to leave. You can't blame me for what those guys are doing. And maybe blame's not the right word. Like I say, I just want to help people find that better quality of life, because that's what me and my family did. And so many of my clients that have escaped California and Oregon and Washington and other places, they found that, yeah, our quality of life, while not perfect, it's not utopia, but it's so much better than where they left. And the other I word in just a moment, but first, I want to remind you guys that if you're thinking that Idaho's the place to come to, and you'd like to learn more about it, please give me a call, text, email, me, Treasure Valley Stephen, Treasure Valley Marine. We've all made the journey. We've all lived someplace else, and we've found that the quality of life is so much better here in the Treasure Valley. And we're all really excited about sharing that with people. I'm not saying that this is going to be the place for you, or there again, it's not, utopia, but ask us your questions and we'll give you some very honest answers. And we have no problem giving you our opinions either, because really we've been through it and we have a basis to compare. So we're just a little bit ahead of the process from where you are. So yeah, give me a call, text, email, be glad to help you. Now back to that other I word, incentive. We had a question that says, isn't the incentive to move here to the Treasure Valley pretty much gone now that prices have gone up so much here? Great question. And you know, it kind of all depends. Depends what is it that incentivizes someone to move from someplace else to another place. And there are certainly reasons that might be like you need a very cheap place to live and you just don't have any money, or for whatever reason, maybe you're retired on a very fixed income and you just need a cheap place to live. Idaho used to be that place. It's not anymore, but there are other places out there. And you know, Idaho is not the #1 state where people are fleeing to, like from California. I want to say we're number 4 or 5. So yeah, the incentive to move to a really cheap place might take you to another place than Idaho. Maybe it's someplace down south, Texas or Tennessee, or maybe along the East Coast someplace, or up Michigan. I've heard that people have moved up there. I can't for the life of me figure out why. I came from the Midwest, so I know what life is like back there. But there are other things that provide incentives for people to move. Could be jobs, could be quality of life, could be the schools where their kids are going to be going. There's various different incentives. When it comes to the Treasure Valley, I'm going to say that we do really good in answering all of those incentives. We have such low unemployment. We have, I just saw it this week, 1.8 or 9 in Ada County, which is Boise and Meridian, and 2.3 over here in Canyon County, which is Nampa and Caldwell. It's, you know, statistically 3% unemployment has always been considered full unemployment or full employment. So that we are that low really bespeaks that we have a demand for labor, for employees, for the trades, for craftsmen. And what does this do? It puts pressure on wages to come up and up and up. Funny enough, I was just going through the drive-thru this morning for breakfast. I know, big surprise, right? Very food motivated. And the young kid just started working there at the drive-thru, and he was telling me how, yeah, he gets paid over double of the minimum wage, and he's very happy with it. I mean, he's young. I'm guessing maybe he still lives at home or something like that. Yeah, you're not going to, you know, raise a family of 4 or 5 on $15.50 an hour. But for what this kid was doing, for a place to start, he was very excited about that. And the whole point about this is that those wages have to be higher just to get people to come work. Not because, you know, the government paid everybody to stay home. It's just that we have such full employment right now that you really have to make it enticing, for another I word, for employees to come work for you. So that's a great thing. Our schools are really decent up here. You know, you hear in the news things going on in other places like Chicago and LA with their schools, and it's just like they're just treating your kids like pawns in a I don't know, a game of marksman or a one-upsmanship. But up here, I have a client that's a school teacher, and she really enjoys it. I have clients that homeschool their kids, and they really enjoy it. There's just so much support for whatever it is that you want to do. When you call up, talk with Treasure Valley Marine, Treasure Valley Stephen. They have younger kids, school-age kids, and they'd be glad to share their experiences with you. When we moved up, Treasure Valley Kelly was in high school, and she had a great experience there, particularly compared to what life was like back in California for a high school-age kid. So anyway, the whole point is that, yeah, there are incentives to move. And if your incentive is to find the very dirt cheapest place to live, there's other states that you might want to move to. We do have cheaper places. If you move out into the sticks, an hour or two outside of population centers, you will find those maybe small towns, or you'll be out in the middle of the woods or the desert, and you can get places pretty darn cheap there. But if you're looking for that really cheap place in a population center, then you'd have to start wondering, why are places so cheap there? One thing, I've been studying this, is that prices across the entire country have been going up this last couple of years. And Canyon County is just right about at the national median price for homes. Ada County, Boise Meridian, they're quite a bit over the median price. But here in Canyon County, we're right about at that. So if you're looking for something at like half of the median price in a population center, you might have to give up stuff. You might have to live in a place that's higher in crime, that has less jobs, that has more rundown neighborhoods and things like that. And if that works for you, more power to you. If you have the money and you have other things that you value on that scale of incentives to move, maybe it's quality of life, maybe it's education for your kids, maybe it's good jobs, definitely Treasure Valley might be the place for you. And the one way to find out, you give us a call. Talk with me, Treasure Valley Steven, Treasure Valley Marine. Ask us your questions. We'll give you our answers, our opinions, our experiences, and we'll be happy to do so. That's why we do this. We don't do this to get rich. We do this to help others that have been through the same situations that we've been through, and how, it's so much blessed our lives to make it up here. So give us a call, text, email, that kind of stuff. And until next time, this is Treasure Valley Dave, looking forward to helping you get home